後々来るかもしれませんが、最初はこんな感じで始めていきたいと思いますが、はい。Okay, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining our session today at the SDG Pavilion, hosted by the United Nations, DESA, Department of Economic and Social Affairs, here at COP30, very historic moment. And we are delighted to organize this event. We means ESG Integration Research and Education Center at the University of Osaka, and UNITAR, CIFO Japan International Training Center. My name is Toshiya Hoshino. I'm a co-director at ESG IREC and the vice chairman of the UNITAR CIFO Japan. And so I have two support here. The one is to advance ESGs through business practices, and the other one is to advance youth empowerment, particularly those new generation who wants to involve themselves in the creation and advancing of the global governance. So we took the title today called Advancing Climate Action Through a Global Climate Governance Building and its Localization. And this is an idea to bottom-up localization to create the global governance, and the global governance mechanisms trickling down to the local action. The reason why I chose this particular subject is that the world is divided. The local actions, so many local actions are ongoing, but not conducted without too much conscious about what is going on in the global scale. And the global governance mechanism is going on, but not particularly reflected in the local actions. So we would like to connect those together. That is the main idea. And the second idea is I'm very much enthusiastic about advancing sustainable development goals. So it is my great honor to have this panel at SDG Pavilion here at COP30. But sustainability is alone does not solve all the problems. We have to go beyond that, even before 2030. That's the another message I like to send. And then eventually we need to we would like to launch the new concept of universal well-being, where that the people and the planet can enjoy well-being together. But in order to make that the kind of a narrative, I'd like to go on briefly about where we are in the contemporary world. I believe, and I'm sure you all believe, that we are at a very major inflection point in human history. This is not one of our major inflection points, but probably the most important inflection point in human history, because there are so many discussions about the term Anthropocene, because human beings are making so many questions. Human beings means us. We make actions or intentionally damage the world. The other one is we, the human beings, take inaction, or our indifference causes the problem. And if we combine all of them, what happens is a climate change. See, the climate change alone is not wrong. What is wrong is the negative climate change. See, so what we need to do is to turn the negative trend for the climate change to the positive trend to the climate change. We need to transform our climate to the positive change. Because we are on the verge of a limit, and the world is divided, and the SDI and AI and others are also going out of control unless we are conscious about it. So we are in a very important position in the history that we need to make a positive choice to turn the world to advance positive climate change. So there are three truths in our life. One is local challenges needs local solutions. There's no question about that. And global governance is possible without world government. You know, United Nations is not a world government, but you know, the negotiators from the different countries here at this COP30 venue are negotiating to create additional agreements, right? It is very important steps. And goal today is sustainability, but the sustainability goals alone does not promise our desired future. Therefore, three things we need to do. One is the SDG localization. This is a very important first step. And synergy between global and local initiative is something we need to advance as a force multiplier. And thirdly is the real goal we need to emphasize here is advancing universal well-being through net positive initiative. That is to regenerate or reinforce well-being, not just the people, but the planet as well, so that the people and the planet enjoy the well-beings together. That is the new concept of a global, universal well-being. And I'm very happy to launch this idea here in the historic COP30 event at Belém, Brazil, together with you. And SDG Pavilion of the UN DESA is the right place to do that on behalf of the CFAO Japan and the ESG IDEC of the University of Osaka. Well, this diagram here is about the key agreements focus forums for global governance. The climate change is, of course, the one of them, but it's a very important one. But we cannot forget there are so many other, global governance mechanisms. They are all interrelated to each other. And there are many international organizations and also international non-governmental organizations who are working to make that policy advanced. And also that, that dialogue, advocacy actions by NGOs, civil society, private sector businesses are also an important part. And everything needs to be integrated to advance the local problem solving and eventually to promote the universal well-being. That, I think, is the kind of scenario I like to propose to you and the audience to make a discussion. Iwaki City, for instance, is one good example. They are advancing SDG localization today, and this month happened to be the carbon neutral promotion month, and they are, as a whole, led by mayor and supported by the business community and the local community. Every citizens are getting conscious about carbon neutralization. It is a very important step for them because the city of Iwaki is very much damaged by the 2011 disasters of earthquake, tsunami, and even nuclear power plant accident. So they started from deep zero to go back to today for recovery and the resilience, and then go to the next step. That is a net positive, and we like to see their future going not just achieving the carbon neutral, but going further to net positive as a model for the rest of the world. And this is just one of the examples, I'm sure. And here we are very much delighted to have our panel members who are very experienced in respected areas of expertise, who are involved actual concrete actions to advance carbon neutrality, and if possible, I hope they are conscious about going beyond that, so that eventually we are able to achieve net positive world. So we have 3 questions in front of you, and we would like to invite each one of your experience and ideas, suggestions to make it happen. One is how to localize global governance rules, norms, guidance in respective local contexts. SDG is one of them, climate change, Paris Agreement is another one. How to localize all those is a very important one. Are there any good local practices that can inform global governance norms and institutions? And you are here to let the world know about the good practices you are practicing, and how to advance net positive initiatives by overcoming the force to keep status quo or vested interests. Those forces to keep, status quo and vested interest is the most difficult, probably, obstacle to overcome, but we have to challenge them. So let's move beyond sustainability goals and eventually achieve the universal well-being. With that note, I'd like to invite Professor Fujino to introduce his activities to push the many local communities and municipalities to go to the carbon neutrality and beyond. So please, Professor, yes, Fujino, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Professor Hoshino, for very kind invitation and very kind introduction. Okay, so good afternoon, everybody. My name is Junichi Fujino from the IGS Institute for Global Environmental Strategies, and now I serve as the acting chair of the Japan's Evaluation Committee for Decarbonization Leading Areas, in Japanese, that's Tanso Senko Chiki. Today, I'd like to share how Japan is trying to translate global climate and SDGs goals into local governance, and how local innovation in turn are beginning to shape new global norms, a process that could take us beyond net zero toward a truly net positive future. In Japan, our local decarbonization efforts are not only about technology or emission reduction. They are about solving local problems while transforming society. Many of our regions face aging populations, depopulation, or disaster risk. By combining renewable energy, circular economy, and local resources use, these communities are creating hope and new livelihoods. This is what we mean by bottom-up localization of global goals. Yeah, this is a picture of how we invite the new kind of the areas, and then, yeah, the Ministry of the Environment launched this national program to select at least 100 leading areas by fiscal year 2025. So this is it, last year. Each developing its own regional roadmap toward virtually zero carbon dioxide emissions from electricity use by 2030, not 2050. But the real goal is not only carbon neutrality, it is community vitality to improve people's comfort, convenience, and quality of life while reducing emissions. Each region must define its own pathway using local energy, culture, and wisdom. The slide captures the spirit of our approach. Don't wait until 2050. We are mobilizing policies and resources intensively for 5 years to create decarbonization dominoes that spread from one community to another. The focus is on comprehensive regional development, combining renewable energy, energy-efficient housing, sustainable food and forestry, disaster prevention, and ecosystem conservation. This is how local action can translate the SDGs into lived reality. Here you can see the growing movement. 117 municipalities across 40 prefectures have already been selected from remote island to major cities. Each region has its own story. Fishing villages using solar and storage for resilience, mountain towns combining forestry and biomass, and big cities shifting to zero-emission buildings and transport. This map represents not a single national model, but a diversity of local experiments, forming a national mosaic. Let me highlight two examples from Iwate Prefecture. First, in Shiwatan, right-hand side, a biomass and food waste-based biogas system powers a hot spring center, creating a self-generation microgrid that lowers energy cost and strengthens local agriculture. Second, left-hand side, in Miyako City, which has heavily affected by the 2011 tsunami East Japan earthquake, the city established its own version of Stadtwerke, a public community energy company. It reuses former disaster sites for solar and wind generation and reinvests the profits to maintain public transport and community services. These are not just technical projects. They are institutional innovations, example of how global norms can be localized and reinvented through community action. Now we are conducting an interim evaluation of these 100 regions. The goal is not only to assess carbon dioxide reduction, but also to measure how much each project contributes to solving local issues, such as employment, regional economic circulation, and social cohesion. Through this process, national and local governments are learning together, building a system of policy feedback and adaptive governance. In a way, this is living laboratory for how multi-level governance can work under the SDG framework. Beyond Japan, we now see similar movements across Asia and the Pacific. For example, Sado City in Niigata Prefecture promotes a regional circulating and ecological sphere in Japanese 地域循環共生圏. Integrated biodiversity, agriculture, forestry, and renewable energy in one holistic system. It embodies what we call net positive regional development. In our Asia-Pacific Synergy report, we document such cases from Palau's women-led clean energy finance to India's millet-based nutrition and climate resilience, showing that local innovation can join to address the triple planetary crisis. Looking ahead, our work connects to COP30 now, and in UNEA 7, it will be held the beginning of December, first week and the second week, and I also joined the UNEA 7 in person in Nairobi, and ESCAP regional processes. Together, we are shaping a regional synergy program to strengthen collaboration on climate, nature, and population. This is the structure of the Asia-Pacific Synergy report. The message is simple but powerful, from localization to re-globalization. Local action, when connected through shared values and evidence, can redefine global governance for a net positive world. The story of Japan's leading region shows that hope begins locally, but its ripple can reach globally. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Professor Fujino. Now I'd like to invite Yuki Wada to make your presentation.
Thank you. Hi, I'm Yuki, and I'm from Japan, and I'm a member of Climate Youth Japan. Next slide. At first, it's my self-introduction. I'm a Climate Youth Japan, and I'm in charge of Vice Representative and Policy Proposal Division Manager. And this year, I'm I'm leader of Corpsar division as well. And in additional, I'm a weather forecaster in Japan. Yeah, it's my job. Okay. Then I'd like to introduce, explain about myself, my slide. Yes, youth environmental education matters because young people are not only learners, but also potential change makers. When young people gain knowledge, they start to recognize their own ability to take action and influence others. Environmental issues often feel too large or abstract, but through education, they become tangible and personal. Moreover, education acts as a bridge between global frameworks like the SDGs and local, everyday actions. In this sense, education is the foundation of sustainable and net positive transformation from the bottom up. Yes, okay. Then I'd like to explain my case. One of my key experience was a workshop for high school students who participated in a youth environmental action contest. I was invited to talk about what kind of environmental activities university students can engage in, from joining NGOs to conducting a small research project or organizing cleanups. I wanted them to see that environmental action doesn't stop after high school. It can grow with you. During the season, students shared their fears about losing motivation after graduation, and we discussed ways to stay connected through communities and networks. I was glad to hear from many participants after the lecture that they had been unsure about how to continue their environmental activities after graduating from high school, but now felt motivated to keep going. Yeah. And I also visited my former high school and gave a talk on climate change. By sharing my own experiences, I tried to make the issues more relatable. I was very happy to receive many comments saying that although they had known about climate change, they hadn't really understood what the specific problems were or what action they themselves could take to address them. But after listening to my talk, they become interested in learning and getting involved. Yes. And it is about my organization, Climate Youth Japan. And Climate Youth Japan is a youth leader NGO that started in 2010 years. And our mission is to empower young people to take part in climate solutions through education, dialogue, and action. We co-organize the local conference of Youth Japan. It's called ELCOI, which connects youth voices to international processes like COP. We also collaborate with municipalities and schools to promote climate literacy and participatory workshops. Through these efforts, we aim to create an environment where youth can meaningfully engage in decision making and community transformation. Yes. Through these initiatives, I've, I've witnessed three key impacts. First, education motivates young people to believe that their small actions can create real change. Second, It fosters intergenerational dialogue. Students learn from teachers, but teachers also learn from students' passion. And then third, it inspires local level actions that directly link to SDG goals such as climate action, education, and partnerships. In this way, youth education becomes a catalyst for broader community transformation. We often talk about sustainability, but I believe we must go beyond it to create a net positive future. This means not only minimizing harm, but actively restoring and regenerating our environment and communities. Education plays a crucial role here because it builds long-term capacity for transformation. When youth understand, act, and then inspire others, positive change multiplies across communities. That is how local education can contribute to global progress, bottom up, our community at a time. Yes. Okay. Okay, then thank you very much for listening to my presentation. I hope my story shows that youth education is not a small effort. It's a powerful driver of local and global synergy for the SDGs. Yes, when we invest in youth learning and leadership, we invest in the long-term health of our planet. Let's continue to learn from each other and work together to create net positive impact in every community. Thank you.
Thank you, Yuki, for your exciting, exciting presentation. Now I'd like to invite Shunta Igusa to the floor for your own presentation. Thank you.
Thank you for Professor Hoshino for introducing me. And hello everyone, my name is Shunta Igusa from Climate Youth Japan. Thank you for the opportunity to speak here for today. As young people living in the age of climate crisis, we often hear that we must protect nature, but I believe we need to go one step further to work with nature. Nature is not just a victim of human activities, it is partner, a living system that can help us solve the challenges we created. Today, I'd like to talk about how nature-based solutions led by young people at the local level can realize the SDGs and lead our society toward a net positive future. Nature-based solution, or NBS, are actions that protect, restore, and manage ecosystems while addressing social challenges such as climate change, disaster risk, and community well-being. When implemented at the local level, NBS can achieve multiple SDGs at once. For example, SDGs 11, sustainable cities and communities. SDGs 13, climate action, and SDGs 14 and 15, protect life below water and on land. But more importantly, NBS brings the SDGs to life, not as global goal on paper, but as local practice that people can see the feel. In Japan and across Asia, we've seen how NBS, such as mangrove restoration, Satoyama rural ecosystem revival, and this is the very Japanese initiative, and urban greening, can make communities safer, healthier, and more connected to nature. These examples how that the path to go global sustainability starts from local action, and the young people can be the bridge between science, policy, and community. Here are two examples of young people implementation nature-based solutions at their own communities. First, in northern Japan, students from Hokkaido University, actually I'm from Hokkaido University, the students from Hokkaido University collaborate with local NPOs to provide forestry education to children. A friend of mine is participating in this initiative, and he believes that this childhood experience with nature still drives his interest in environment and forest-related issues. Connecting this formative experience to more children is a true youth-led NBS initiative, delivering multiple benefits including forest conservation, well-being, forest tourism, and education. Second, in the Philippines, a youth-led organization, Mangrove Matters PH, is spearheading mangrove restoration along vulnerable coastal. A young volunteer plants seedlings, monitor coastal communities in climate change adaptation. The results are stronger coastal, richer biodiversity, and stronger young people. These two case studies demonstrate how young people's community engagement with nature-based solutions can bring multiple benefits, including climate change mitigation, disaster resilience, and social regeneration. They embody the path from restoration to renewal and show what young innovators can achieve today. Young people today are not just a voice of the future, we are the actors of the present. Through nature-based solutions, we can connect science, policy, and local communities. We have the creativity to imagine new systems, the digital tools to visualize the impacts, and the energy to bring people together across generations. In Japan and many parts of Asia, youth groups are already working with farmers, fishers, and local governments, restoring Satoyama landscape, protecting coastals, rethinking urban spaces. What makes these actions powerful is not just planting trees or cleaning rivers, it's about rebuilding our relationship with nature, shifting from a system that extracts to one that regenerates. The next decades will decide whether we move toward crisis or regeneration. Through nature-based solutions, we have a chance to restore not only ecosystems, but also our connection with each other. A net positive society is one that gives back more than it takes. For people, for future, and for the planet. As youth, let's lead this transformation with hope, creativity, and courage. Together, let's move from restoration to regeneration and build a future where nature and humanity thrive slide by slide. Thank you for listening.
Thank you. Thank you very much. All right. Then I'd like to invite So Tsujita to the floor. Yes. Now your turn, please.
Check. Hi everyone. Hi, my name is So. I'm happy to speak here about my my previous action regarding the SDGs and connecting the urban region youth with the local regions, the youth with the keyword of the SDGs. So here is the name of and also the image of the Earth Day Tokyo SDGs Awards. This actually took place 3 years ago, actually. But let me introduce myself. My name is So. I'm 26 years old. I'm actually working as a full-time and graduated to 2023 in Japanese university. So I'm juggling these. I'm a part of the Climate Q Japan and also working for an American company as an sales. And then this Earth Day Tokyo, the youth initiative is that the program that I initiated when I was working for the Earth Day Tokyo. Does anyone know Earth Day? It's Earth Day, yes. Earth Day is a literally day for the Mother Earth. So it's actually 22nd of April. And my birthday is also 22nd of April. So I was born on Earth Day in 1999. You know how old I am, how old am I right now? So this Earth Day Tokyo Youth SDGs Hour is the main purpose is combining granularly of solutions at the same time. So granularly of solutions is really similar to this COP30, right? We have a lot of existing student organizations and also solutions, a lot of different passions, but where is the place each components can come together? So this SDGs Hour, sorry, it's a little bit detailed slides, but took place hybrid, a bit mainly online. So the main purpose is connecting the different youth-led organizations across Japan. So this time we welcome 13 different student organizations, including, of course, Tokyo and Osaka, but other regions. Maybe you, I don't know if you heard, but Hokkaido, I don't know, there's the Niigata, Fukuoka, Nagoya, or some Kanagawa, or these different prefectures, because there is a gap, you know? You feel the gap between like opportunity gap or educational gap. So we have to involve them in the same table in line with the SDGs agenda. So here we had the teams, 13 teams across Niigata, Toyama, Tokyo, Kanagawa, Nagano, Fukuoka, and blah, blah, blah. And the total participants here are 235 in total. And then, yeah, it takes also 3 months from September to December. So it's kind of like we learn. We always start with learning and also getting know each other first. Like self-introduction, what do you want to do, what are you interested in, and something like that. What topics are you following in terms of the SDGs? And then we have the educational, continuing learning opportunities. I will explain later. All right, I'd love to introduce the organizations and actually take part in the SDGs award. SDGs award. So really diverse. Actually, from university students and also junior high, or someone is actually junior elementary school students, really diverse, but they all together here. So first of all, the graphics, it's a Japanese student-led, it's a university student organizations working. Have you ever heard, maybe no, doing the development countries like a support, like building at a school, or like drilling for the well, or creating delivering the English classes, English class to the local students. So it's a graphics. We had a graphics, and also ACT. ACT is an organization, student organization as well, but led by the high school students, or like a 5 or 6, with the main purpose of delivering the widespreading SDGs, and also what will be the latest news and the changes. They do all, take liberty in the social media to spread wide the information on the key messages and takeaways from all, SDGs agenda. And also Nexus, they are really, practitioner. They deliver the cleanup activities, the beach clean, and also educating, like delivering the environmental classes and something. They all have junior high or high school students. And the UNESCO, we have in Toyama International University High School. They have UNESCO club. This part of the school official, the club activities. Then they decided to also take part in the this SDGs award. And also Progress One is also the student-led organization, high school student organizations. And also Minamirai is from the Niigata prefectures. They are living and also working on the rice fields. They sometimes every weekend they do some field work and also spread widespread their work and how the rice and agricultural processes growing up or something like that. As well from Fukuoka and also SDGs conference students, high school student organization, as well Fukuoka United Children and Umi Ega is a virtual organization led by the students. And the Future Guardian, and then the ICANN from the university, and then connecting our Earth Co-A in show. So we have 13 different organizations, and beginning with the weekly lectures. So again, so this is SDGs hours, the place every different student organization coming together and think about it, the solution to foster and accelerate the existing problems in their local level, not the global level, but the local level, because we have to connect them, try them to put them on the global agenda, but I think globally, but act locally. So here, the weekly lectures, we welcomed the 5 brilliant lecturers from United Nations university staff. Miss Yanagitani, she's working for the biodiversity and Satoyama culture. And also we had Ian Shimizu, he is actual environmental activist and also entrepreneur, building the Japan and also African continents by the green and the plantation system. And then we had Mr. Shimotaya, he's leading the Sustainable Restaurant Organization in Japan, actually, providing the batches to a restaurant, a good restaurant, just coexisting with the nature and also respecting the labor force and also fishery system, how they gain the foods and then how they cook and the waste. And then we need the business sector. From on the life side, we had, from the Fields Corporation, we welcome Miss Ida. She is leading the Fields, which is a refilling initiative. She is operating her company to providing an app, a mobile app, so that the user can easily identify where to refill the water. And also from the international development perspective, we have the Sekai no Iryodan. It's like a world medical organization, and Mera. She is also field practitioners in the developing regions. And then with these 5 brilliant speakers, the students, the high school, junior high, and also university students come together on the online environment and learn from these leadership and also initiatives, as well as the motivation, what are the practical ways to pursue the sustainable development. It's like a weekly, so we have that's why we had 3 months in total. So this is a place where each individuals can learn the global agenda and also reflect on themselves to what topics or what fields am I really interested in it. Oh, maybe, look, the Yanagitani-san is a biodiversity. Maybe I'm interested in it. So this kind of reflection is really important for, especially in the early, in the early age, like teenagers or early 20s. And then, so we also had not only presentation and weekly lecture, but also Thursday refill operation. So as a refill, refill, right? Do you know refill? You got a my bottle, right? COP 30 my bottle. I hope so. And the Thursday refill operation is the not gonna tell the 130 students how to do refill. It's a really easy way, but and then ask them to actually find where they can refill in their neighbors first. In their neighbors, maybe in the school or maybe in a common school, whatever. And then ask them to make a post when they actually succeeded in refilling the water or bottles. So by doing so, they also post and we can visualize how many times each student or participants can actually succeed in refilling actions. Because water is really one of the critical resources in Japan, and we have to, understand and find a way to coexist with the nature in the right way. So this is the refill operation, and then that number of the posts from each organization. You know, we have 13 organizations, and each organization like post when they refill, and then the number and the total number of the refills will be counted up to and added up to the total scores in addition to presentation on the final day. As a result, all right, this is actually part of the screenshot of their refilling posts on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and also Twitter. We had 512 posts. They all took place by the students across Japan. So this is a great opportunity for them to learn, and not only learn, but also move to actions and then express the good idea where this is a place you can refill, and this is how it look cool. So this is a deliberate way combining with the social media and also SDGs and actually making an impact significantly. As well, we also had a fun activity, we had a Pocky Day, like 11th of November, 1111. It's always a Pocky, 4 Pockies. And so we have, Japanese people call it the Pocky Day, like a Pocky. It's a cookie. It's not a cookie, but it's a Pocky. And we also had, virtual gathering. And then Christmas, we gather as well virtually, and then, talk about the future, realization or something like that. And last but not least, we had a final presentation. So we start with weekly lectures, we actually practical action, and then do some fun activities. And lastly, we all, connecting different dots into one proposal from the 13 student organizations across Japan. Not only Tokyo, but also Fukuoka, Toyama, Nagano, everywhere. And then, so this is kind of like, the pictures that the final presentation. And the winner was actually the Minamirai. It's Niigata, the student organization in Niigata actually won this SDGs award. Their presentation was really wonderful. But I just want to say the framework and also methodologies, how we can bridge in the SDGs global momentum with a local level education is really important because there is a gap, as Hoshino professor mentioned. So in this, I want to conclude my presentation. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. So now I'd like to invite all of you to the podium. And then I'd like to have some discussion, just about 10 minutes or so. First of all, I'm very much encouraged to the presentations made by our youth representatives, because I said at the very beginning the importance and necessity to connect local and global initiatives together, but they have already done that. And then also I talked about the importance of going beyond sustainability. Of course, sustainability is a very important goal to make, but thinking about the net positive, but they have already, made certain initiative. I'm very much impressed with the term what Shun said about youth is a connector and an innovator, and that I think is a representation themselves, I'm sure. So I'm really pleased to have this session at this historic COP3 here in Belém in front of all the audience. So I'd like to ask you what would be your next step, how to scale your vision even further, and I'd like to hear that from each one of you. I'm very encouraged by Professor Fujino, who talked about leading areas for decarbonization all across Japan. That is more than 100 locations. So that this is the idea of him, and also the Ministry of Environment, that to make the domino of decarbonization as one kind of foundation to move towards the net positive world, right? And I'm sure you would like to create such kind of dominoes. So that I was wondering what kind of domino would you like to make and how to scale it. Do you have any one idea or one wish you'd like to do? I'd like to hear that from each one of the youth representatives. And then we'd like to conclude our session today. So can we start from Yuki?
Thank you, Hoshino-san. I'm argued about education, so I'm gonna talk about this. I'm a weather forecaster, and I want to be a person who can connect general people to and specific people and with specific information, because weather is so complicated and climate change also very complicated, and general people have to know, but it is so difficult. So I want to be a communicator to communicator that the person who can talk about climate change more easily, more effectively, yeah, like that. Yeah. So I want to be that person. Thank you.
Yes, talking about those communication, the fact is very important, but nowadays, there are so many, disinformation and misinformations, and I hope what you can communicate to the general public is a right one and very fact-based, evidence-based one, so that the people can make a right choices. I think that is a very important step. Thank you very much. Okay, how about Shunta? Could you give your own, idea for the next step to scale your vision?
Okay, next step of scale up my vision is to implement our policy. The Climate Youth Japan have focused on the policy advocacy, policy proposal, and sending youth to COP like us. But we didn't do the implementation. So from next year, we will start the implementation of the policy or the initiative, such as a nature-based solution, of course, or the collaboration with organizations using abroad or the enterprise as well. So yeah, to scale up the vision, we will start implementation from next year.
So he already have a plan for the next year and the next, I'm sure. Thank you very much. Then finally, So, please.
Okay, just quick. So my mission is wearing many hats to act as a bridge, just diversify myself. And in the digital, technology, and also business, in sustainability, these are the three pillars that I want to pursue in my life. Because there is, I feel the polarization and also separation between the, these segments. Someone have to bridge the gaps. So I'm currently working for the Microsoft Japan, and then pursuing technology and the business perspective. And then I was a part of the Climate Youth Japan, so learning the sustainability. And then finally, I just connecting these three dots and accelerate to scale. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Now, I said at the very beginning I have to wear 2 chapeaux today, but I found Shaw wears 3 chapeaux and even more for the future. That's a great message to hear, and I'm sure that everybody wants to follow the same way. So I'd like to invite Professor Fujino to give his comment after hearing all those comments from the youth representatives.
Yeah, thank you very much. I'm very impressive. And then, now I'm a principal synergy coordinator in IGS, and then I will give my position to Saul sometime if you like. Like, yeah, your activities, something like, yeah, how to develop such synergy for among the different stakeholders or different generation, and then, so quite impressive. And then, yeah, I have also quite interesting experience in a Sado. This is a gamification card developed by 6th grade elementary school students. And this is a game originally developed by the Kanazawa Technical University. When he was a master course student, he developed this game itself. This is a game who understands that the trade-off situation and then how to solve trade-off situation by resources. So this is a card game developed by the elementary school. So, and then these 18 students visit the next elementary school, and then they ask the student to enjoy their game, and they facilitate all the session from the beginning to the end. Adult just watch it, teacher just watch it. Yes, such 12 years student has such a power to develop the game by themselves, to facilitate the session, and then to engage stakeholders. And then in the afternoon, they also invite the neighbors in the region. So like, you know, the people whose age is something 60, 70, 80, they come to the school and they enjoy their game. You know, 12 years old guys facilitate all the session. So, yeah, not so, but so. I think, yeah, there are a lot of opportunities, and then I'm so impressed that you have, you know, to have good education system. You'd like to say something? Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, I realize that I also need more hats. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Now I think this is the evening to hear the youth power really change the world towards the universal well-being and the positive world. So thank you very much for each panelist, and thank you very much for audience for the hearing. Very inspirational discussion. Thank you very much, and thank you very much for the United Nations DESA for organizing this session. Thank you.